You're working harder than you've ever worked in your entire life, and somehow at the end of every single month, there's nothing left. Not a dollar, not a cushion, nothing. And the worst part? You're not lazy, you're not irresponsible, you're actually doing everything you were told to do. You got the degree, you got the job, you show up every single day. And still, building any kind of real wealth feels like trying to fill a bathtub with the drain wide open. That feeling you have right now, that quiet frustration sitting in your chest when you look at your bank account, that's not a personal failure. That is a systemic trap that was designed long before you ever showed up to play the game. And before we go any further, there's a program linked in the description below this video. People who've gone through it have completely transformed how they think about and build wealth from scratch. If you're the kind of person who is serious about changing your financial situation, and I mean truly serious, not just curious, then go check it out now before you forget. Most people will scroll past it. The ones who don't are the ones whose lives look completely different a year from now. But first, let me show you exactly what's happening and why none of this is your fault. Think about the generation before yours for a second. One income could buy a house. One income could support a family. A summer job could pay for a full year of college. That world is completely gone. And nobody told you that when you were studying and dreaming and planning your future. You were handed a map to a country that no longer exists. Here's the brutal truth. The cost of living has exploded. Housing prices in major cities have gone up by over 200% in the last 2 decades. College tuition has risen by nearly 180% since the 90s. Healthcare costs have more than doubled. Meanwhile, wages have barely moved. Adjusted for inflation, most people today are earning roughly the same as workers did 40 years ago, except now everything costs infinitely more. You are running a race where the finish line keeps moving farther away every single year. And then there's the debt. The average student loan debt burden is staggering. Tens of thousands of dollars hanging over people's heads before they even cash their first real paycheck. You start your adult life already in a hole, already behind, already owing before you've earned anything. That psychological weight alone is enough to make you feel paralyzed before you even try. And here's something that almost nobody talks about. That paralysis is part of the trap. When you feel behind, you stop planning. When you stop planning, you stay behind. It becomes a loop that's almost impossible to break out of on your own without the right framework and the right information. Now let's talk about what's happening inside your day-to-day life, because this is where it gets deeply personal. You wake up, you check your phone. Before you've even had coffee, you've already seen 3 things that made you feel behind. Someone's vacation, someone's new car, someone's business announcement. Social media is a comparison machine, and it is running 24 hours a day directly into your brain. And every comparison fires a little signal that says you're not enough, you're not doing enough, you're not moving fast enough. And instead of inspiring action, most of the time it just makes you feel defeated before your day even begins. So you go to work, you do your job, you come home exhausted, you don't have the energy to research investments, you don't have the mental bandwidth to learn about asset building. You barely have the strength to cook dinner, so you order something, which costs money you didn't plan to spend, and then you feel guilty about it, which makes the anxiety worse, which makes it harder to sleep, which makes tomorrow harder. This is the cycle. This is what broke actually feels like from the inside. It's not dramatic. It's not like a movie where the character hits rock bottom in one moment. It's slow. It's quiet. It's Tuesday afternoon sitting in traffic, realizing that you've been working for years and you still don't own anything of real value. That moment hits different. That moment cuts deep. And here's something that almost nobody talks about loudly enough. The wealth gap is not just about income. It's about knowledge. People who come from money don't just have more money, they have information passed down through dinner table conversations, through family advisors, through connections and contexts that most people never get access to. They know things about tax strategies, about investing structures, about how to make money work instead of just earn it. And that knowledge gap is widening every single year. Let me paint you a picture of 2 people. Both earn the same income. Both work the same hours. One of them understands how compound interest actually works, understands how to use tax-advantaged accounts, understands how to build streams of income beyond a single paycheck. The other one has never been taught any of that. 10 years later, those 2 people's financial situations look like they come from different planets. Same starting point, completely different destinations. The difference was never talent or discipline, it was access to the right knowledge at the right time. This is why so many people are stuck. Not because they're not trying, but because they're trying with the wrong tools, the wrong framework, and information that was never designed to help them actually win. And the system is almost perfectly designed to keep it that way. Credit cards with predatory interest rates. Subscription services that drain accounts quietly. Advertising that makes you feel incomplete unless you're consuming. Every single piece of the financial environment most people live in is engineered to extract money from you, not to help you build it. You're surrounded by sophisticated systems pulling in one direction, and most people are trying to swim upstream with no map, no guide, and no support. Now here's where things start to shift. Because everything I just described, every single piece of it has a solution. And the solution is not working harder. You're already working hard. The solution is working differently, thinking differently, learning how wealth actually gets built in this economy, not the old economy, this one. Real wealth in this generation isn't built by saving pennies. It's built by understanding assets. It's built by understanding how to make money work while you sleep. It's built by understanding that every dollar has the potential to be an employee that goes out and earns more dollars for you. The moment that concept clicks, and truly clicks, everything changes. Think about what your life looks like when money starts working for you instead of you constantly chasing it. You wake up and your financial situation is not based entirely on whether or not you showed up to a job today. There's income that doesn't depend on your direct time. There's a growing base that compounds over time. There's a plan that moves forward even on the days when you can't. That's not a fantasy. That's the result of learning specific things about how money actually moves in this economy and then applying them consistently. People who understand these things don't stress about a single expense the same way anymore. They make decisions from a position of knowledge instead of fear. They stop feeling like they're one unexpected bill away from disaster. That shift in feeling, that mental and emotional weight being lifted, that is worth more than any number in a bank account. And here's the thing that gets people emotional when they really sit with it. The time you've already spent working hard without this knowledge, you can't get that back. But the time ahead of you, that's still yours. And every single week you spend operating the same way you've been operating is another week of building someone else's wealth instead of your own. The people who figure this out early enough change their entire family trajectory. Not just their own life, their children's lives, their grandchildren's lives. That is the real stakes of this conversation. It's not just about whether you can afford a nicer apartment. It's about whether you're going to be the person in your family who finally breaks the pattern. The first person who actually builds something that lasts. That pressure is real. That responsibility feels heavy. And if you feel that weight right now, that means you already know somewhere inside you that you're capable of more than where you currently are. That instinct is correct. Trust it. Here's something that separates people who build wealth from people who talk about building wealth. The ones who actually do it don't wait until they feel ready. They don't wait until conditions are perfect. They don't wait until they have more time or more energy or more certainty. They get the right information, they get inside the right system, and they start. Imperfect action guided by good knowledge beats perfect intention guided by nothing every single time. The cost of not taking action is invisible today. It shows up years later in missed opportunities, in compounding you never started, in gaps that became chasms. That's the cruelest part. Inaction feels safe in the moment, but economically, it is the most expensive choice you will ever make. So here's where you are right now. You understand what's been working against you, you understand why it's not your fault, and you understand that the path forward requires new knowledge, a new framework, and actually doing something different. The program linked in the description of this video is the resource that too many people scroll past because it looks like just another thing. But the people who don't scroll past it, the people who are genuinely done tolerating the financial situation they're in, those are the people who look back 6 months from now completely stunned by how different their thinking and their results have become. Most people will watch this video and go back to doing exactly what they've been doing. They'll feel motivated for a few minutes and then let it fade. If that's you, honestly, this probably isn't the right time. But if something in what you just heard resonated at a level deeper than just surface inspiration, if you felt something, if you recognized yourself in this, then you already know what your next move is. It's down there in the description. Don't overthink it. Don't wait for a better moment. This moment is already the right one.